Hello, friends. My name is Reena Ahuja. I'm so happy to be associated with MentorMitr and as a mentor. And thank you very much for making me a mentor. I would like to first give you a brief introduction of myself, followed by a few points that we want to discuss today around goal setting. So am currently running my own business consulting organization. We do a lot of business transformation work for companies that are trying to find the next level of success and achievement. Prior to this, I was heading HR for Hughes Communications India Limited, which is a satellite communications company. I was with them for about 9 years. Prior to which, I was working for Schlumberger, which is the world's largest oil exploration and technology company. I was heading their HR for the oil field services and for the non-oil field businesses of Schlumberger. I was with them for about 8.5 years. Prior to which, I was with Citicorp Credit Services. That's a subsidiary of Citibank, and where I was working first in the business audit section, followed by training, followed by HR. And I had a very small stint as a salesperson for about 1 year in NIIT, which was my first job. I have done my master's in environmental sciences. I've also done my master's in management. And I've studied in close to maybe 11 schools and colleges across the country because my father was in the transferable job. And for the last over 20 years, I've been living in Delhi and I've been working out of Delhi, though I've traveled a lot across the world. So when your team from MentorMitr got in touch with me and said that I could probably help people understand what goal setting is, it took me back to really what I counter and hear every time I meet people in the professional space or in the personal space, my friends talking to me for their children, because they think that since I am in HR, and this is one of the activities of HR to set objectives for the organization, to set key result areas, to define goals in line, of course, with what the vision of the company is, then I would be uh, probably well trained in doing and understanding the process of goal setting. So that's something which is very textbookish, and though applicable in the corporate framework, goal setting for individuals is not about how much money you want to earn, uh, the measure of how large you want to make your business, or how successful you want to be in your profession. I mean, those are, of course, some of the goals that you can have in life, but goal setting or knowing where you want to go is around everything, every aspect of your life, be it personal, be it professional, be it some of the hobbies that you want to pursue. So it means really to look at something that you want to set out to achieve. Now, when I talk of goal, the picture that comes to mind for most of us is maybe a football field or a hockey field, and people running around trying to chase a ball into a goal post. Yeah, and that's simple. That's exactly what goal setting is. So, in football or in hockey or in any sport which has a goal, the idea is to take your ball and push it through the opponent's goalpost. And that's when you feel that you have achieved something, and you feel like a winner. Now, what will make you a winner? 10 goals against 4 or 1 goal against 0. But nevertheless, it is giving you a sense of achievement. So in life also, the reason why we want to set a goal or create an objective, which might seem slightly far away, it might not seem immediate, is to give your life and your own self a sense of achievement when you reach there. And in reaching there, it's not like you have to run at one shot. And it's, in any sport you see, it's not like one person chases the ball and pushes it through to the goalpost from one end of the field to the other end of the field. There are a number of stages to taking the ball to the goalpost. Similarly, in life, you will have to set out your goals, which could be something that you want to achieve 2 years down the line, 1 year down the line, 10 years down the line. Or, maybe when you sit back and you're 60 and you look back and say, yes, these are things that I wanted to achieve by the time I was 60 or by the time I was 30. So that kind of a target that you set for yourself is the goal that you want to achieve. When you're setting a goal, be it personal, professional, or even if it's to do with a hobby or places you want to go to, travel, meet, it has to be something which is not simple and something which is small. It has to be, in my opinion, it has to be slightly unrealistic. You'll hear everybody saying that goals have to be realistic, they have to be achievable, they have to be something that can be done in a certain stipulated amount of time. All that's all right. But when you set very small goals for yourself, when you set a goal which you know that you can achieve easily, it will not give you the sense of fun and satisfaction if you had set out something difficult for yourself. So, in my opinion, when you're setting something as a goal, you need to make it slightly unrealistic. Let's say, you want to lose weight and you want to lose 10 kilograms. And you say, okay, I'm giving myself 24 months to lose this 10 kilograms. And then you gradually start, reducing maybe 200 grams a month. And, by the time you reach there, you're you perhaps will not reach there because it's such a long term short achievement scenario. But if you give yourself the target of reducing 10 kilos in the next 6 months, you'll work hard towards it. You will really see that every month I need to reduce quick and fast and surely. So in my opinion, setting a goal has to be trifle difficult and unrealistic. You'd say that, what is this whole goal setting about? And I've never done it. And how should I go about doing it? What are the steps? But let me tell you, we're setting goals for ourselves all the time. Even if you're in school, even if you're in college, if you're working, if you're not working as a professional, but you're working for yourself, you're an artist, you are in some creative domain, you're setting goals, which might seem like not a goal to you, but in reality it is. Let's say your friends and you plan to go for a movie. Now that's the goal. That yes, we have to go for a movie on Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock. So what do? You start working backwards. You start to figure out, okay, now to reach the movie hall by 2:45, I probably need to uh, start from my home at 2 o'clock because the drive time is about 40 minutes. I would need 5 minutes to park my car. I would probably, make an entry into the movie theater by 2:45. Now, to start at 2 o'clock, you go backwards saying that, okay, I should have had my lunch by 1 o'clock and I should have been ready by 1:30, and I should probably finish off feeding my dog or a cat who's at home and should be ready to step out and open my garage, pull out my car by 2 o'clock. So what are you doing? These are all small, small steps to reach that goal of being at the movie theater by 2:45 to see that movie at 3 o'clock. So aren't you doing it? Yes, you are. Similarly, when you're setting out goals for yourself, which could be wanting to choose a career, look back and see what are those small steps that you need to take to become the artist that you want to become a doctor, to become the engineer, to become a data analyst, and start working backwards. And this is what we're doing all the time. When we were in school, it was our parents and teachers who set these small goals for us so that what was the aim? That we would clear our grade 12. So they set out small goals like, okay, we need to clear our class 1, 2, 3, 4, until we cleared our grade 12. So every class was a little goal, little step to achieve that big goal of being in class 12 or clearing class 12. Now, if we were to really look at what kind of goals, now you have to look at what makes you happy and set out those goals which are right for you and also right for society, and they are ethical. So if you, I'm not saying it's wrong, but if you want to become rich, then there are many ways. You could rob a bank, you could mug somebody on the street, take all his money, but is that the right thing to do to become rich? So you have to set out the steps, the small acts that you have to do, which are right, which are correct, which are for your benefit and not hurt anybody in the process. So set out those steps which you think will take you towards your goal of being rich. If you want to be rich by becoming a farmer or becoming a lawyer or becoming a doctor or by working on the stock exchange for yourself, then those are things that you'll have to work upon and break them down to see how you can create those tiny goals for yourself to become a great stockbroker. So what do goals do for you? Goals are actually helping you build your life plan. And everybody needs to have a life plan. When you're 10, 12, you really don't know. You're so busy playing, you have friends, you have a lot of excitement. So you don't really focus on a life plan which says that, okay, what to do or what should I have done by the time I'm 60? Now, it could be that by the time you're 60, you should have a house of your own, you should have children who are married and have done well in studies, have completed their studies. You could have a life plan which includes climbing a mountain, let's say, conquering the Kanchenjunga or the Mount Everest, or participating in a race. And then, when you look back at 60, you'll realize that how did you get there was more important than just having that goal. The how is to set out those little steps and activities that are going to make you feel whether you've done it or you're not. Again, to something that you can do to achieve what you want in year one by within 1 month. Break that down further to see what you need to do in that 1 month by completing a few tasks in 1 week. And that is where you will start getting that sense of moving forward, the trajectory that your life is going to take, or the path that you're going to follow to fulfill your life plan. And your life plan should have not just one or two or three, but at least 5 or 6 great things, good things that you want to do. And that would be your goals. Now, we were talking about Sachin Tendulkar, so I'll start from there. So, we were talking about Sachin Tendulkar. Everybody's heard about him. So, for those who haven't, he's one of the greatest cricket players of the world. Now, when he set out to becoming a cricket player, he did not set a goal that I want to be the greatest cricket player or I want to get rich by playing cricket. He just wanted to perfect his game. And what did he do? He picked up the cricket bat when he was 5 years old. And from then on, he kept practicing and he kept doing what he thought was the right thing to do for his game and not for becoming rich. People very often say that, oh, there's monotony in following a goal. But Sachin also just played cricket and he kept practicing batting for 8 hours a day, sometimes more than that. So when you have set out a goal for yourself, be passionate about it. Just like Sachin, or just like uh, Roger Federer, who again practices tennis for about 4 to 6 hours every day. And that's because there's a passion. It is not because Federer wants to become the greatest Grand Slam champion of the world. So, in a way, goal setting is doing nothing but helping you understand who you are, what your passions are, giving you a path, a trajectory to achieve that passion or achieve where you want to be with that passion, and to create for yourself little steps to reach that goal. Now, what is also important is that, you know, sometimes it's not just you. You might have set out something for yourself, but you realize that there are lots of hurdles on the way. So now let's say if you're running a race and we say that it's a 100-meter sprint that you have to run, and suddenly if I put a hurdle in front of you or a rock in front of you, are you going to stop running? Maybe not. You're probably just going to jump over it or circumvent it and run through the side and still try and achieve that finish line, reach the finish line. A lot of times, what happens is when there's a hurdle in the way, uh, people come to a screeching halt and they just stand there and they begin to lament and say that, oh God, there is something in the path, I can't cross this. They never try to see if they can go around it or they can jump over it. So um, this is the time, when some of us would need a mentor. And who's a mentor? A mentor is a facilitator. He's only going to hold your little finger and help you go around what comes in the path of you achieving your goal. A mentor is somebody who's done this for himself, who's achieved his goals in life, who has actually seen what could come in the path of achieving a goal and how to solve that problem. He would help you solve it once, twice, the second, third, fourth time when you begin to face problems, he'll just refer you to how you did it in the past. And that's when you will begin to solve your own problems, whether to jump over your problems, go around it, or just push away the stone. So that is how a mentor is going to help you in your life. A mentor is also sometimes going to be able to help you break down your goal into those little steps, saying that, hey, you've set out a very great, big, unrealistic, lofty, but beautiful goal for yourself. However, you haven't really found out how to get there and what is it that you need to do today, in a week's time, in a month's time, in the next year's time to get there. So the mentor uses his experience, and experience in life teaches you a lot. You might be a super intelligent, high IQ person, but sometimes it's the experience that really supersedes IQ and knowledge. You might be a high IQ child, but until you've experienced that what it is to burn your finger when you're picking up something hot, the IQ won't help. And that is experience. And that is what a mentor will bring to you. Having said that, I think a mentor is also somebody who's going to stand by the side while you're setting out achieving your goals to see how you're doing it, to see what is something that, or someone, that's someone who can tell you whether you've achieved it ethically, whether you achieved it well enough, and whether that achievement is actually going to make you more passionate or is going to make you complacent, and you know, you sit back, but the mentor is going to be there to push you for more and goad you to not become complacent. I think MentorMitr is one such forum who is going to bring you in touch with a lot of people who've got experience, people who can actually help you, maybe even elucidate your goals, understand you better. Of course, the best person who understands you is you yourself. But sometimes we get lost in translation. Now, many of you had heard of the book called the Bhagavad-Gita. Now, the Gita is not a religious book. It is a book which sets out goals. It sets out how to achieve those goals. And in all of that, there are two main characters, Arjun and Lord Krishna. Arjun, there's nobody who was a better archer than Arjun. But he got lost trying to understand why he was doing what he was doing. So that was when the mentor, who was Lord Krishna, the person who was his chariot man, helps him to understand why and what of the goals that he had set out when he was there in Kurukshetra fighting a battle. So that is what MentorMitr will also do for you. There'll be somebody who's a senior mentor, who's a person with experience, who's a person who brings in a variety of life learnings on the table. It's not just professional, it could be personal, it could be people who are facing issues to do with their friends, their relationships, their living in a city and moving to another city, their ability to do or not do certain things. And that is what is going to ease the path to achieving the goals that you've set out for yourself. So, with that, I'd like to end today's talk and thank MentorMitr for creating this platform for people to reach out to people with experience and people who can help others contribute towards their own goals and towards goals that are going to help society at large. Thank you so much.